You were just watching Monday Night Football between the Broncos and Bengals. Our Jack Wallace has the play of the game heading your way.
Get ready for a big weather pattern change in the First Alert forecast. I'm tracking the first of several rounds of rain moving across the inland northwest tonight.
And 2 people killed in a Medical Lake shooting over the weekend. What police now know. You're watching 4 News Now, Special Edition. And you just finished watching the Denver Broncos beat the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, Denver handling Cincy without much trouble tonight. We have sports director Jack Wallace in studio for the play of the game.
We have plenty of great Broncos highlights tonight in their 28-3 win. We'll bring you all the play of the game. We go back to the first half, 12 seconds to go and counting. Bo Nix a bullet to Courtland Sutton, diving into the end zone for an exclamation point in the first half. A 21-3 lead at the break. Sutton finishing the night with a team high 81 yards on 5 catches. Nix slinging for over 300 yards, 2 scores. And J.K. Dobbins, got to mention him too, crushed it in the ground, a season high 101 rushing yards. Broncos win it again 28-3, bumping their overall record to 2-2. That actually ties with Cincinnati's record, but without Joe Burrow, it's going to be tough sledding the rest of the year. Washington State football's defense had a masterclass performance against Colorado State. Multiple sacks, forced turnovers. The second half shutout highlighted an excellent night from the D. Cougs linebacker Anthony Polano spoke post-game about how the team locked it down, especially following consecutive performances, allowing 59 points for the first time in over a decade.
We needed that one, for sure. We're going into a bye week, getting healthy. Everybody's going to take advantage of it and just work on the minor things. Like I know a couple of the guys are going to be working on tackling too and just tackle angles. So the minor things, this team works hard for sure. And we're all destined to be great, and we're going to do what it takes to get there.
Destined to be great. Love that. And Polano said this week is a bye for WSU. They will then next travel to the Ole Miss Rebels October 11th, and their only currently ranked matchup of the season so far. So it's great for the Cougs to get a bounce-back win like that. The defense, a complete 180 performance so fast. Great leading into that tough stretch where they're sticking on the road. Again, that 35 days, you said, from the Apple Cup
Yeah.
to the Toledo game is just crazy.
It's a really long time between home games, for sure. Jack, thank you. All right, turning our focus to the weather now. It was cloudy all day, and it actually looked like we might get some rain.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is joining us now with just how much rain we may end up seeing, Chris.
Well, it's not going to be a lot, but we are going to see some. This is the view today, a time lapse over downtown Spokane, and it has been a gray day. Mostly clouds, but some wildfire smoke as well. On our Doppler radar, we're starting to see a few areas of light shower activity, most notably along I-90, moving out of Ritzville towards Sprague. That is headed up I-90 and should be into the Spokane area later tonight. Here's our forecast radar starting off at our current time, and we will keep the chance of showers going through the overnight. Here's 4 a.m. tomorrow morning with that light rain in progress around eastern Washington and North Idaho. Then we start to see things dry out as we get into noon on Tuesday. There's still the chance of a hit and miss sprinkle throughout the day, but there's more rain coming as we get into Tuesday night and Wednesday. But here's your Tuesday hour by hour forecast. Starting off the day with a chance of rain in the early morning, then we start drying out, just a slight chance of a few sprinkles in the afternoon. High temperature of 69, pretty good drop from the 80s of yesterday and the 70s today, but actually that's right about average, and there are a lot more 60s in the 7-day forecast. I'll let you know what to expect in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
See you soon, Chris. Thank you. Family and friends are remembering the victim of the Eastern State Hospital shooting. Colleen Hendrickson Bass was shot and killed early Saturday.
Investigators believe she was shot by a man who went on a crime spree leading up to that shooting. It started when a brush fire was set near Medical Lake High School. Following that, deputies were called to a break-in a few miles away where a man was firing shots as people hid in their home. Then, while deputies were responding to that intrusion, they heard gunshots across the lake at Eastern State Hospital. That's where they found Bass and the suspect both shot. Our Madeline Mullins spoke to friends of Bass and shares how they want her to be remembered.
To many, she was known as Colleen Hendrickson Bass. To a select few, she was known as Bombastic.
It's just how kind and thoughtful she was and bright. Like, she's Like, that's freaking smile, man. She had a great smile.
Bass was a member on the Lilac City roller derby team. Her teammates Jenna Carroll and Mary Grace Hickman say her pink helmet could be spotted anywhere on the rink.
You know, she would get just a little bit faster, or just a little bit more agile, and you could just light up when she would get it, or she would block someone just a little bit better.
While roller derby gives players a chance to leave the outside world at the door, her teammates do remember her talking about work and the people she worked with. That is where she was when she was shot and killed on Saturday. The sheriff's office says it responded to Eastern State Hospital when someone called 911 saying an employee had been shot in the parking lot. Friends identify Bass as the victim. Deputies say once they arrived, shots were exchanged with the suspect, and the suspect was found dead. Now, because a sheriff's deputy was involved with this shooting, the investigation has been handed over to the Spokane Independent Investigative Response Team. That team says it hopes to have an update on the investigation on Tuesday. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says it will release the name of the deputy involved later this week. For now, Bass's friends say they are grieving the friend and the teammate they lost.
And I think it'll be like that for a while. Like, we look for that ping. Ooh, I can do it. Look for that ping helmet in that pack for a second. It's not going to be there.
In Medical Lake, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
Really sad there. Northbound Green Street near Spokane Community College is closed starting today to install drainage pipes and manhole covers. This is one of the projects put on hold by the Local 302 union strike. A detour will be in place for drivers to navigate the construction. This is expected to be finished by October 6th. Well, election season is nearly upon us, and there's an important change you need to be aware of to the way ballots work.
Yeah, this could affect if your vote is even counted. Why officials are encouraging voters to get their ballots in the mail even earlier after the break.
Plan your day with Matt Gray, only on Good Morning Northwest. 4 News Now is brought to you by Perfection Tire.
Check engine light on? Brakes squeaking? Don't guess. Just bring it into Perfection Tire.
Complete service and certified technicians. We can fix it. And right now, save big with rebates on select Cooper tires.
Nobody beats perfection.
This is your community, and your stories deserve to be heard. At 4 News Now, we're here to listen, connect, and bring you the news that truly matters. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
Thank you.
I got this.
Thanks. I'm Alex.
I'm Jade.
If the name wasn't obvious enough, the DQ Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket is tossed in your choice of honey barbecue or new sweet chili. That means layers of flavor from the top, bottom, left, right, inside, outside, and everywhere in between. Delicious from every angle. That's the Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket. Available in honey barbecue or new sweet chili. Get it delivered today. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Featuring Gravedigger, Megalodon, and more. Coming to Spokane Arena October 17th through 19th. Brought to you by BKT Tires. Lock in your seats today at monsterjam.com.
When it comes to getting what's fair for your auto accident, the scales of justice can be a bit unbalanced.
So how do you get what's fair?
Call Russell and Hill.
We've handled thousands of injury cases and have the resources to make the insurance company pay up.
Call Russell and Hill.
Jersey casual dress code on Blue Fridays, hoarse voices on Monday mornings, and flying that 12 flag every day of the week. Whether you're a hardcore 12 or more of an everyday fan, you're part of a community that loves to show its pride. At BECU, we're proud to be a part of the Seahawks community too, and we like to show our pride at every purchase with the Seahawks Debit MasterCard, the official debit card of the Seattle Seahawks. BECU.
From tires to tune-ups, Perfection Tire is your one-stop shop.
And right now, save big with rebates on select Cooper tires.
Quality you can trust at our lowest prices. Nobody beats perfection.
Well, welcome back. Elections officials in Spokane County are encouraging voters to mail in their ballots earlier than usual for the upcoming November election.
They say people should no longer rely on getting their ballots postmarked on Election Day. Derek Strom explains why they say a change at the post office is to blame.
The Postal Service ended evening mail collection in Spokane earlier this month, meaning it will only pick up mail once per day from local offices. Elections officials say this could make it more difficult for ballots to be postmarked in time for Election Day.
If you do need to mail your ballot, please get it in the mail by the Friday before Election Day. One, we want it to get to us as promptly as possible, but two, we want to make sure that you get a postmark of Election Day or prior.
Election laws in Washington require mail-in ballots to be postmarked by Election Day or else they can't be counted. The elections office says if you're not able to mail in your ballot at least 3 or 4 days ahead of Election Day, you're going to need to bring it to one of these official ballot drop boxes. And there are several locations around the county where you can find these, including here outside the elections office and outside the county courthouse.
Please be sure to look at your ballot to see what the locations are of those drop boxes. It'll probably be printed right on your ballot, but once you put it in the envelopes, it's hard to find. And it'll also be in the voter's pamphlet.
The elections office says on average up to 0.5% of ballots can't be counted because they aren't postmarked in time, and that was before this change by USPS. Those votes could be enough to decide a race.
We actually do have a huge amount of mail that comes in on Wednesdays and Thursday right after Election Day, but those have to be postmarked Tuesday or earlier or we cannot count them.
Ballots will be sent out for the November election starting October 14th. Election Day is November 4th. In Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
Well, tomorrow, Together Spokane will host the third of 4 town halls to discuss the bond and levy coming up on the November ballot.
So Together Spokane is the joint initiative that aims to improve public spaces in the city. Both Parks and Rec and Spokane Public Schools have separate measures that need to pass for the full Together Spokane plan to move forward. And tomorrow, this town hall will be at Shadle Park High School from 6 to 7 p.m. Everyone's welcome to attend. A recording will also be available to watch after. The Rotary Club is hosting a debate this week for Spokane City Council's 3rd District.
On Thursday, Christopher Savage and incumbent Zach Sapone will face off for position 2 in that district. And we'll be streaming the whole thing. If you want to watch it live, you can catch it on KXLY Plus at noon. But if you can't catch it then, we will re-air the entire debate at 7. Again, both of those will be streaming on our streaming app, KXLY Plus.
Air quality is in the moderate range over much of the inland northwest, but with rain on the way, there is hope for improvement. I'll tell you about the cooler, wetter weather to come after the break.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
Attention high school sports fans. Your school could be featured on 4 News Now Game of the Week. Go to KXLY.com. Vote for your favorite game, and your team could be the featured game on Friday Night Sports Extra. 4 News Now Game of the Week. Brought to you by BECU.
The 2025 Ford Bronco is everywhere, and for good reason. It's built for anything, loaded with capability, and will go anywhere you take it. Snow, mud, dirt, whatever the road throws at you. This goat gives you seven different terrain modes to handle it all. And the Bronco just won an award for Best in Class for initial quality. When buying your next SUV, think Wendell Ford. We would be honored to show you the new Bronco. Wendell Ford, drive for generations.
Hi, my name is Megan and I'm the Education Coordinator for Wastewater and Stormwater. Today we're going to be talking about dog poop. You might be thinking it's like fertilizer, but it's not. It's actually bad for our waterways and can contain bacteria like E. coli, and that's obviously a health hazard. So pick up after your pet to keep us all healthy and safe. To learn more about stormwater tips and city projects that are protecting our river, go to SpokaneStormwater.org.
Not a word about the bangs?
The smartest Wi-Fi ever made to make your world come alive.
Kubota sales are looking great. What is going on in the parking lot out there?
Oh, that's our tailgate party to get the Cougs all pumped for their next big game. And around here, Kubota's all about winning.
Tailgates, Cougs, and Kubotas. That's how we roll. Visit any of our 5 Adams Tractor locations and get your Kubota today. Proud sponsor of Washington State Athletics. Go Cougs.
Attention high school sports fans. Your school could be featured on 4 News Now Game of the Week. Go to KXLY.com. Vote for your favorite game, and your team could be the featured game on Friday Night Sports Extra. 4 News Now Game of the Week. Brought to you by BECU. 4 News Now is brought to you by Pape Machinery.
Well, there is still plenty of time left to donate unused hygiene products to the Hope for Kids drive.
Yeah, it runs through October 5th. The drive is a combined effort between 4 News Now, Numerica, and Project Beauty Share to ensure local students have access to any necessary hygiene products. We're talking things like shampoo, deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrushes. There are 3 ways you can donate to this drive. The first is by donating directly to Project Beauty Share. You can also buy items on Project Beauty Share's Amazon wish list and have them shipped directly, or donate items at any Spokane or Coeur d'Alene Numerica location. For more information on how you can donate, just head over to our website, KXLY.com/hopeforkids. And Kirsten, when we were there the other day, they talked about they got a big shipment of Jake Paul's brand deodorant, which was nice because a lot of the deodorant they get is made for girls or women. So to have something for the guys was actually a big deal.
And it was gender neutral. I smelled it and said I would wear it too.
They're strong enough for a man, but you like it
pH
too.
balance for a woman.
It's a good smell. They do need body wash, they were saying, and soap. Like those are the 2 main items, and toothpaste. So if you're just picking one up, pick up 2.
Interesting. Well, I want to pick up some Jake Paul,
right?
And see what he smells like. It's going to be smelling like rain, hopefully, here very soon. 66 right now in Spokane and mostly cloudy skies. It's 63 and mostly cloudy in Coeur d'Alene. Dry right now, but we are watching those showers approaching. We've got some cooler weather coming. We were in the 80s yesterday, 70s today, 73 our high. That's still well above our average high. Our average high is now 68 degrees. This is the month of September. Right now, we're on track for our 2nd warmest September on record. Might slip into number 3 because it's very close, and we're going to have a cooler day tomorrow. But all of the orange dates that you see on our calendar are above average temperatures. It has been a warm September. Just 3 days of below average temperatures. That's in blue. Average is in gray, just 3 of those, and those 299 certainly sticking out. We started off the month with the hottest September weather on record. It's going to feel noticeably cooler over the next several days, but our average high is right about in the mid-60s, and we're going to be right about average through the next 7 days. But we've got some cool mornings ahead, and we are getting into October, which is the month our temperature drops the fastest. Tracking our weather pattern today, we had a southerly flow, and that's what helped bring our temperatures above average, and that's what's bringing up some moisture from the south for some showers later tonight. Area of low pressure out in the Pacific will continue to bring us a chance of showers right on through the end of the work week, although some days more than others, and we'll keep our temperatures in the 60s. Tomorrow, a 30% chance of measurable rain, but most of that will be in the morning. Once we get into the morning commute, the odds of precipitation really go down to just a few sprinkles. Wednesday, a 60% chance of showers. It'll dry out a little bit on Thursday and quite a bit on Friday before we bring back the chance of rain for the start of the weekend. Temperatures, meanwhile, as I mentioned, will be in the 60s for highs, but what really catches my attention is overnight lows. With the clouds for the next couple of nights, it will be fairly mild, but once we start clearing out, those temperatures start dropping, and we may have our first nights down in the 30s in Spokane. Saturday night into Sunday, Sunday night and into Monday Monday. And again, even though this is going to feel very crisp, very autumn-like, these temperatures are really what we should expect this time of year. We shouldn't expect 80s, mid-80s for late September, but that's what we had yesterday. Derek?
All right, yeah, gonna be getting pretty chilly in those
It'll feel
overnights.
normal.
All right, President Trump had a busy day today with 2 major meetings.
One about the future of Gaza and another about the future of the economy. The key takeaways from both of those high-profile meetings coming up.
And up next, a story that took over the conversation yesterday. 4 dead, 8 injured in a shooting at a church in Michigan. The latest details after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
It's our all-month-long Labor Day sale, where you'll save $13,750 off new Sierra 1500 Elevations or 0% APR. There's never any dealer-added markups on new vehicles. And ask us about our 3-day return and 7-day exchange at GMC of Riverfront Park.
For more than 20 years, Blackhawk has electrified country fans. Experience them live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, October 16th. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning. If somebody's out there and they're on the streets and they feel lost,
you feel like there's no way out, that nothing's worth it.
You're constantly in survival mode.
And it's hard to ask for help when you don't trust anybody.
I know because I've been there.
There is an organization out there that can help you.
They want to help you go from broken to who God made you to be.
Even though you don't think you can change, you can.
Because there's a life that God has for you in the future much better than the life you're living now.
Recovery is possible.
And there are people you can trust.
Custom is more than choosing from a few fabric options. With our custom upholstery, you get control over almost every detail, so you can design a piece that's perfect for you. From the style of the arms and legs to the cushion type and pillow shape. Perfect style, perfect comfort, created for you. The Custom Comfort Event. Get 30% off store-wide at the Tin Roof.
4 News Now and STCU recognize volunteers who make a difference in our community. Today we honor Pamela DeGarmo. For more than 6 years, Pamela has volunteered at Project ID.
Pamela is the heart of Project ID, volunteering over 20 hours a week to support and uplift individuals with disabilities.
It fills my life. I mean, yeah, you can work and you can do chores. This is kind of something that just makes the day better.
Thanks to STCU for helping to make sure volunteers count.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. I want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you want to do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
It's our all-month-long Labor Day sale, where you'll save up to $14,500 off or 3.9% APR on new Sierra 2500 HD Denali's. There's never any dealer-added markups on new vehicles. And ask us about our 3-day return and 7-day exchange at GMC of Riverfront Park.
4 News Now is brought to you by CARD, the Center for Asbestos-Related Diseases.
4 people are dead and 8 others are injured from an attack at a chapel in Grand Blanc, Michigan.
The suspect was killed in a shootout with police, and authorities are working to determine a motive. ABC's Rena Roy reports that the police chief calls it an evil act of violence.
An urgent investigation underway after this deadly attack in Michigan.
We have lots of questions. How could this happen? What created this moment? Why?
Authorities say 40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford, a Marine and Iraq War veteran, rammed his truck into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in the township of Grand Blanc just before 10:30 a.m. Sunday, then opened fire with an assault rifle and set the building on fire. Improvised explosive devices also found at the scene. The ATF now looking at those devices as investigators try to piece together the clues. The church a total loss.
Our church is gone. I joined the church 38 years ago. To see somebody would do this to my church.
Hundreds of congregants inside for Sunday service as the attack unfolded, some jumping in to help.
Those on the scene were absolute heroes, going in and out of the fire to drag people out, helping each other take care of the victims on the scene.
4 people dead, 8 others injured. The suspect killed in a shootout with police. The FBI calling this a targeted act of violence, but saying the motive is still unclear.
Evil. This was an evil act of violence.
President Trump over the weekend writing on social media calling for the, quote, epidemic of violence in our country to end. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt speaking on Fox News today.
Based on my conversations with the FBI director, all they know right now is this was an individual who hated people of the Mormon faith.
The governor urging people to avoid speculation as this investigation continues.
Speculation is unhelpful and it can be downright dangerous. So just ask that people lower the temperature of rhetoric.
The FBI is leading this investigation, saying that agents worked through the night, following up on more than 100 leads from members of the public. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Well, officials in Austin, Texas say they finally linked a suspect to the 1991 quadruple murder case in which 4 teenage girls were killed inside a yogurt shop where 2 of them worked. Austin police announcing today it was serial killer Robert Eugene Brashears who shot Sarah and Jennifer Harbison, Eliza Thomas, and Amy Ayers more than 30 years ago before setting that yogurt shop on fire, compromising the evidence and leading to a more than 3 decades-long mystery. Austin's police chief says Brashears' DNA was connected to other murders and rapes across the country. Brashears died by suicide in 1999 during a standoff with police in Missouri over a stolen license plate investigation. Families of the victims were emotional after learning today's update.
We have been robbed of a life with nieces and nephews and grandchildren, and with sisters to grow old with. This sort of mindless violence continues to steal from all of us.
In 1999, 2 men were arrested for the murders. Both confessed, but later claimed their confessions were made under duress and their convictions were overturned.
2 high-stakes meetings at the White House today, one on the war in Gaza, the other on the impending government shutdown. ABC's Olivia Rubin is in Washington, D.C. with the details.
Today, a high-stakes meeting at the White House as the clock ticks down to a government shutdown, now less than 48 hours away.
If it has to shut down, it'll have to shut down.
For the first time ever, President Trump meeting with the top 4 congressional leaders, but neither side indicating they're willing to budge.
Democrats are fighting to protect the health care of the American people, and we are not going to support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of everyday Americans.
At the center of the issue, health care. Democrats want Republicans to roll back cuts made earlier this year to programs like Medicaid. But Republicans defending the cuts, saying,
this is sitting right now at the Senate desk. We could pick it up and pass it tonight. We could pick it up and pass it tomorrow before the government shuts down. And then we don't have a government shutdown. It is totally up to the Democrats because right now they are the only thing standing between the American people and the government shutting down.
Republicans control every branch of government, but they do need some Democrats in order to pass this bill. It all comes as Trump continues to try to end the war in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House today.
President Trump, are you confident, sir, there'll be peace in Gaza anytime soon?
The White House now releasing a 20-point plan to end the war in Gaza. It includes the redevelopment of that area, as well as the release of all hostages, which would trigger more aid being let into the region. Trump saying Netanyahu has agreed to those terms. No indication yet if Hamas will too. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
Well, President Trump had a different city in his sights this weekend.
Deploying federal troops to Portland in an effort to address crime. The pushback from government officials and people in the city coming up after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Happy Take and Bake Tuesday!
Every Tuesday at Papa Murphy's, you can get large pizzas for just $13.99, which makes Tuesday the best day to bring home all your favorites.
We might have too many favorites.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Every day, our customers experience that moment. The moment when the decision is made and the train has left the station. When there's nothing left to do but lean forward and watch a little piece of the future unfold right before your dilated pupils. It only lasts a heartbeat or two, and some moments end better than others. But whatever the outcome, there's never a dull moment at Northern Quest. Yes,
Looking for new appliances? Come visit our Spokane Valley Fred's Appliance Showroom. Over 17,000 square feet to shop for top brands like GE, Bosch, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, and so much more. Conveniently located right off I-90 just west of the Valley Mall. With the largest in-stock, get-it-today inventory in the region and the lowest price guarantee, Fred's is the most convenient choice for your next appliance. Family owned since 1962, we're your local appliance expert. Fred's Appliance. We sell appliances, only appliances.
BECU has helped Finney Ridge Painting grow from setting up payroll services to finance. I feel that BECU is fundamentally concerned about me as an individual and my business and all the individuals that work here. They provide a level of connection that other institutions aren't interested in. With BECU, we don't feel like customers. We feel like business partners.
Touchdown on savings at George Key Kia Spokane. We're clearing out all new 2025 Kias at huge discounts to make room for the new 2026 Kias on the way. Shop over 350 new Kias and score big. Locally owned, family operated, always exceeding your expectations with unbeatable deals and exceptional customer service. Don't miss this chance to save. Visit George Key Kia Spokane off I-90 and Liberty Lake or shop anytime at SpokaneKia.com.
Papa Murphy's dares you to turn up the sweet and the heat with 3 bold takes on our ultimate pepperoni. Start with 2 kinds of pepperoni, then choose Mike's Hot Honey or Mike's Extra Hot Honey for a heat-seeking kit. 3 bold pizzas, each just $9.99. Only at Papa Murphy's.
Well, you're watching 4 News Now Special Edition. Portland is the next city President Donald Trump has targeted, with ICE agents taking to the streets this weekend.
The deployment drawing protests across the city, with crowds of people voicing their frustration with the decision. K2's Jennifer Singh has the story.
More than 100 people showing up outside of the Portland ICE facility Sunday evening, denouncing President Donald Trump's decision to deploy the Oregon National Guard to protect federal buildings. Things starting out peaceful in the early hours, the story changing once again after the sun went down, where we saw tear gas deployed, at least one fight break out amongst protesters, and a helicopter circle overhead. The clashes around the ICE building are a main reason some Portlanders say more federal officers are needed to keep the peace, while some state leaders and community members say the troops are there to escalate tensions.
What I do think is taking the bait will incite further exacerbation of the challenges, and Donald Trump is watching video of what's happening down there. I would love it if we keep that as quiet as possible, leave flowers, walk by peacefully, but agitation down there is just going to backfire on all of us.
Representative Maxine Dexter, Governor Tina Kotek, and Portland Mayor Keith Wilson spreading that message at a peaceful rally earlier Sunday afternoon, marching alongside hundreds of people through downtown Portland.
To have them out here standing in solidarity, that means everything. So it's very encouraging and heartwarming.
I believe in our city leaders, and I believe in our own citizenry to take care of our streets and to take care of our communities.
Protesters say they are far from done and will plan future demonstrations as many community members and local leaders urge President Trump to step back.
I think Portlanders will continue to be loud and we will continue to peaceably protest. We always do a great job of practicing our First Amendment rights and practicing our right to assemble, and we do it alongside our children, alongside our grandparents, alongside our teachers, and everybody else in our community.
Well, lawmakers are also fighting back against President Trump's decision to send federal troops to Portland. This morning, attorneys for the state filed an emergency motion seeking to block the deployment of federal troops. The filing accuses the Trump administration of trying to militarize Portland and other so-called sanctuary cities. The move follows a Sunday memo from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announcing plans to place 200 Oregon National Guard troops into federal service for 60 days. In response, the state and the city of Portland filed a lawsuit arguing the federalization of state troops is unconstitutional and could trigger more unrest. The White House says the deployment is needed to protect ICE facilities from what it calls violent protests by Antifa and other groups. Well, here at home, we are finally starting to cool down a little bit.
Time to check back in with meteorologist Chris Crocker with how much we'll be cooling down, Chris.
We are going to be cooling back down to average after a very warm September. Taking a look at our satellite and radar right now, we're also bringing in some rain. It doesn't look like much right now, but it's the most we've had in a while, and we are going to see more rain over the next couple of days. Our chance of precipitation starting for the next 12 hours, 30% at 9 o'clock. But then when we get into the overnight, it jumps up to 60% before tapering off tomorrow morning. Most of Tuesday is going to be dry. You may run into a sprinkle or two, and it is going to be cooler. We're again cooling back down to average. We were in the 80s yesterday, the 70s today. 60s is where we would typically find ourselves at the end of September and beginning of October. But 71 in 9 Mile, Meade, and downtown, but we'll be in the 60s elsewhere around the region. 70 in Spokane Valley, region-wide in the 60s through North Idaho. 77 in Lewiston, 68 in Colville, and we'll be in the lower 70s in Moses Lake and Ritzville. Your Tuesday planner, chance of showers, best chance will be in the morning. Otherwise, a stray sprinkler or two is possible tomorrow. I will be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. Starbucks is closing more stores and announcing a second round of layoffs at its headquarters in an effort to revive its struggling business.
By the end of September, Starbucks will have 18,300 North American locations. That's down about 400 stores from what it had at the end of June. And the closures are hitting close to home, as 3 Spokane locations were impacted, leaving some Starbucks customers with a longer drive to find another spot. And they weren't the only ones in the area either. We checked in with the Ritzville location, which is also closed now. Our Hunter Bertram was there today and shares how it will shake up the small town's economy.
Just off I-90 in Ritzville, workers are taking down the familiar Starbucks signs that once drew in highway drivers. Hundreds of drivers stopped at the Ritzville Starbucks daily, but today those expecting a coffee break face disappointment.
Well, I drove through and then I just saw somebody taking down the sign from the back and I was like, all right.
That Starbucks was an anchor, truly an anchor.
Cal Nahinke from the Adams County Development Council describes the impact of this closure on the community.
For Starbucks corporate, it seems a bit disingenuous of, we're going to invest here in your small community, and then we're going to pull the plug on your small community overnight with almost no resources to counter that.
More than 20 people have lost their jobs, and local coffee shops now face the challenge of handling a surge in customers.
I love our local coffee shops, but they're just not set up to do that. And most of them are drive-through, so that element of, people coming in is not there.
I mean, I think we average about 5 to 6 minutes to get a drink out. But we're doing the best we can.
Nahinke and other community members worry that the loss of this anchor store could negatively affect other businesses.
We're going to have to measure the effect a couple months from now, but it will be a measurable difference, and not in a good way.
In Ritzville, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
Working at Walmart will soon be different because of artificial intelligence. That's the message from CEO Doug McMillon, who says AI will phase out some jobs, create some, and change others in a dramatic reshape of the workforce. McMillon told a recent conference gathering at Walmart's Arkansas headquarters that it's likely every job will change in some way. Officials with the U.S.'s largest private employer say they're taking a close look at AI's implications to determine which of its workers would need training as certain jobs evolve. Other companies, including Amazon, Ford, and JP Morgan Chase, have already said AI's influence will lead to job cuts.
Well, video game giant Electronic Arts is going private in a deal funded by Saudi Arabia and an investment firm backed by President Trump's son-in-law. Jared Kushner says he's excited about what's ahead for the iconic brand. The deal would be valued at about $55 billion, which would make it the largest leveraged buyout in history. Shares of EA jumped about 5% in pre-market trading Monday morning. The deal is expected to close in the first quarter of the fiscal year 2027. Electronic Arts is behind the video game franchises Madden, FIFA, and The Sims. Well, weight loss drugs like Ozempic are becoming more and more common as a way for people to lose a few pounds.
But it turns out they might be more effective for some than others. Why your biology might influence how effective these weight loss drugs are in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
For more than 20 years, Blackhawk has electrified country fans. Experience them live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, October 16th. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
In sports, to have a good offense, you need to know how to read the defense.
The same is true dealing with the insurance company after a car wreck.
They'll use every trick in their playbook to pay you as little as possible.
But we know their playbook.
Like the low ball.
The insurance company's all about paying you as little as possible.
They offer you a quick check and hope that you'll just go away.
Only to find out later you were entitled to more.
Don't get lowballed, call us.
We're attorneys Russell and Hill.
We know the insurance game.
And we know how to win.
4 News Now and Numerica Credit Union proudly present the Hope for Kids Hygiene Drive to support Project Beauty Share.
As students head back to school, some kids don't have access to basic hygiene items like shampoo, soap, deodorant, and toothbrushes.
All children deserve basic hygiene supplies to give them the confidence to face their day. September 5th through October 5th, donate student hygiene supplies at any local Numerica branch. Your donations can improve a student's day, their health, and their future. This is how Numerica cares for kids.
There's a reason the F-150 has been America's best-selling truck for 48 years. Features, power, and price make the F-150 a no-brainer. And for 2025, you now have over 13,000 pounds of towing capacity and even hands-free driving available. Our team at Wendell Ford is proud of this truck. It's one of the reasons we've been around for over 80 years. When buying your new truck, think Wendell Ford. Drive for generations.
If the name wasn't obvious enough, the DQ Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket is tossed in your choice of honey barbecue or new sweet chili. That means layers of flavor from the top, bottom, left, right, inside, outside, and everywhere in between. Delicious from every angle. That's the Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket, available in honey barbecue or new sweet chili. Get it delivered today, only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. I want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you want to do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
Well, the popularity of GLP-1 drugs for weight loss continues to rise. About 1 in 8 U.S. adults reported using the medicine at least once, according to a 2024 KFF poll.
While weight loss for people on these drugs varies, one study suggests the amount a patient will lose may be partly based on their biology. Daniel Rotroff with Cleveland Clinic is one of the lead researchers of a study that looked at whether genetics has a hand in weight loss on these drugs. They keyed in on a gene called neurobiчин. It's a protein in the part of the brain that regulates how full or hungry you feel. While everyone has this gene, Rotroff says variations in it may affect how well the gene works.
We found that some of the variation was associated with increased weight loss and some of it was associated with decreased weight loss.
Rotroff says evaluating this gene alone may not be accurate enough to make the decision on whether a person should or shouldn't take GLP-1 drugs for weight loss, but he says it can be an important step toward making a treatment plan personalized for each patient.
Well, there is a new tool on the way to help kids with nearsightedness. Thursday, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration announced it's authorizing the sale of special lenses that can correct vision and slow the progression of myopia. The French eyewear company Essilor making these eyeglass lenses, which can be worn by children as young as 6. Clinical data shows the lenses can slow eye growth that leads to worsening sight by up to 71%. Doctors call it a major step beyond contact lenses already on the market, and the company says its lenses are expected to be available at eye clinics across the U.S. in the coming weeks.
The USDA is issuing a health alert for some ready-to-eat meals containing pasta that may be contaminated with listeria. The alert involves Walmart's market-side linguine with beef meatballs and marinara sauce and Trader Joe's Cajun-style blackened chicken breast fettuccine Alfredo. The products have best if used by dates of late September or early October. Listeria can cause serious illness, especially for high-risk groups like older adults and pregnant women. If you have either product, just throw it out or return it to the store.
For things to know about your weather, we are going to get a little bit of rain overnight, mostly dry on Tuesday, and then a cool and at times wet Wednesday. It's going to be less hazy. That's the great news. Hopefully get a handle on some wildfires. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
For more than 20 years, Blackhawk has electrified country fans. Experience them live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, October 16th. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or CDAcasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
Bill's Heating and AC has not one, not two, but 3 warehouses overstocked with tankless water heaters. To clear out inventory before the end of the year, we're doing something we've never done before. Advertising our guaranteed lowest pricing for all to see. Right now, you can get a tankless water heater installed for only $3,500 to $4,500, depending on the model. Call now before this amazing deal goes away. Call 208-777-5528.
Monster Jam, as big as it gets. The fun begins at the Pit Party, where you can meet the drivers and see the trucks up close. Get your Pit Party pass at monsterjam.com today. Coming to Spokane Arena October 17th through 19th.
4 News Now and Numerica Credit Union proudly present the Hope for Kids Hygiene Drive to support Project Beauty Share.
As students head back to school, some kids don't have access to basic hygiene items like shampoo, soap, deodorant, and toothbrushes.
All children deserve basic hygiene supplies to give them the confidence to face their day. September 5th through October 5th, donate student hygiene supplies at any local Numerica branch. Your donations can improve a student's day, their health, and their future. This is how Numerica cares for kids.
When you've been injured in a car accident, the insurance company can make you feel small.
Right when you need help the most.
That's when you call Russell & Hill.
You are important to us.
We'll work to get you the results you deserve.
So you can get back to being you.
It's Truck Month at Findlay Downtown Toyota, and that means our lot is stacked and packed full with over 100 of the best Toyota Tundras and Tacoma trucks. And we are dropping prices dramatically on all 2025 models to move them out, plus delaying all payments until next year. And as an added bonus, we are giving extra money for your trade-ins. So if you're even thinking of a new truck for winter, come on down to Findlay.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. And want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you want to do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Where winning is just the beginning.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Coeur d'Alene Convention and Visitors Bureau.
All right, Chris was showing us that 7-day forecast earlier, and a few days out, those overnight lows are getting real low.
You said 30s.
Yeah, 30s. I was this close to putting another blanket on the bed, and then it warmed up. So maybe it's time to start bundling up a little bit. I think you might even hear the furnace click on sometime next week. That's hard to imagine, but here we are, getting very close to October. Time lapse today was not a very pretty sight here in downtown Spokane. Overcast conditions in tandem with that haze on the horizon from wildfire smoke. Most of the day, our air quality was in the moderate range, only briefly into the unhealthy for sensitive groups range. We do have some showers. They are very light, happening around the region, a little bit down on the Washington Palouse, down into the LC Valley, and some sprinkles starting to move into Spokane County from Lincoln County right now. Zoom in here, Medical Lake, you may be getting a sprinkle or two here in the next little bit, but as this is moving to the north and east, it's starting to dry up. But we have more precipitation coming overnight. It likely will not amount to much. Here's a look at our forecast rain between now and tomorrow night at this time, Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Hundredths of an inch in most locations, a couple of spots getting up to a tenth of an inch, but there is more possible tomorrow night into Wednesday and again during the day on Wednesday. What's going on? We have an upper level trough moving in, the high pressure that brought the warm weather of the weekend moving off to the east. And as this area of low pressure approaches, it is going to continue to send us weak disturbances, bringing us some light precipitation for the next few days, and it will be keeping our temperatures cooler than they have been, but really just dropping things back down to average, which is in the 60s. Here's a look at your planning forecast. 30% chance of showers on Tuesday, and most of that is going to be in the morning. Then the rest of the day dry, and you'll likely even see some sunshine. Wednesday, a high of 65 with a better chance of some measurable rain. And then we start drying out. Not completely. There's still the possibility of some mountain showers on Thursday. Saturday, we have a slight chance of rain. But for the most part, we are going to see more sunshine than showers through the rest of the 7-day forecast, particularly as we get into Sunday and Monday. Mostly sunny skies each day, and that's when the skies will clear out and we have the chance to see some cool nights ahead. 39 Saturday into Sunday, Sunday into Monday, that 37. We're going to be keeping a very close eye on those overnight lows as we do this time of year. Got to get the last out of your garden. Pay close attention as we get into early next week, Kirsten.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, people living along the coast in the southeast are bracing for rain, wind, and rip currents from Tropical Storm Imelda.
Yeah, the storm is expected to make a hard right turn back out into the Atlantic Ocean, but it's still brushing close to the shoreline, and it's one of two storms out in the Atlantic right now. ABC's Elena Athens is in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina.
Surfers here in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, taking advantage of the high surf as Tropical Storm Imelda turns out into the Atlantic. The storm hammering the Bahamas over the weekend with strong winds and heavy rain. It's turning north right now off Florida's east coast, not far from another storm, Hurricane Umberto. Beaches in Florida are already seeing rough surf. In the Carolinas,
combined impact of the two storms, Umberto and Imelda, may cause isolated flash flooding, coastal flooding, ocean overwash, wind gusts, and dangerous rip currents throughout much of this week. Last Saturday's one-year milestone of Hurricane Helene reminds us of the importance of being prepared.
Coastal cities facing the potential for flash flooding with heavy rain in the forecast. In Charleston, South Carolina, many people filling up sandbags over the weekend to protect their homes.
I think I'm just going to have them kind of near the doors just to make sure and see where the water pools. Our backyard actually gets about like a foot of water anytime there's heavy rain for like a week.
In North Carolina, Wake County's Emergency Management Department handing out free preparedness kits.
There's a flashlight in here, there's a first aid kit, information about how to prepare, what else you may need as an individual. There's information on pets and how to keep them safe during emergencies, what you may need to bring to a shelter.
No evacuation orders are expected. Imelda is forecasted to make a sharp turn and head out to sea. Elena Athens, ABC News, Wrightsville Beach.
Well, Washington State's Sony Finau had a breakout moment in the Cougs' win over Colorado State this weekend.
He was part of a Cougar defense that only allowed 3 points against the Rams.
This big fellow was key for the Cougs to win in such an impressive fashion. Finau wrangled back-to-back sacks in the fourth quarter to crush a Colorado State drive within scoring range, setting up a blocked field goal to keep the second half shutout. Now, the senior tallied more sacks in these two plays than his entire career combined to that point. Linebacker Anthony Polano and cornerback Colby Humphrey spoke about the big senior's performance, and how getting these huge plays helped hype up the defense late in the game to close out their strongest defensive performance of the season.
No, yeah. I didn't even realize what was going on. I was looking at the quarterback and all of a sudden he went down. And it was Sony. I see him doing a celebration. I'm very happy for him. Whenever he gets on the field, he always puts his best into it. And I think all the hard work he had was showing off. So I'm really happy for him.
It fires us up a lot, just like you said, just coming down to everybody doing our job and then being happy for one another. We're happy for that guy. Yeah.
Washington State returns to their week off playing. Certainly not too much rest, though. They'll have plenty to prep ahead of their battle against Ole Miss and Oxford next Saturday. Spokane Velocity, you can go ahead and celebrate. They are back to the postseason. Despite their loss to the Greenville Triumph, Spokane is still black to the playoffs regardless as FC Naples lost to Antelope Valley. The Velocity are down to 4th in the League One standings. They were first a lot of the season. They're trailing Naples by 1 point for 3rd and Chattanooga by 4 points all the way at the top. The top 8 clubs make the postseason. That's out of 14 total. But get this, 7 more teams are set to join this league next season, including teams in Boise and Eugene, which add a little bit more to the Northwest. So it'll be cool to get some more regional rivals in a league there's so many far away. But with 5 matches to go, only 1 at home. It's going to be tough for Spokane.
Yeah, having Boise and Eugene will help on that travel budget for sure when you got some regional rivals.
So fun. Thanks, Jack. We'll be right back after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
For more than 20 years, Blackhawk has electrified country fans. Experience them live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, October 16th. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
In football, to have a good offense, you need to know how to read the defense.
The same is true dealing with the insurance company after a car wreck.
They'll use every trick in their playbook to pay you as little as possible.
But we know their playbook.
Like when they stack the box.
These are huge insurance companies.
And they'll do anything to keep you from winning.
Like stacking the box with attorneys to fight your claim.
That's when you call an audible and call us.
We're attorneys Russell and Hill.
We know the insurance game.
And we know how to win.
4 News Now and Numerica Credit Union proudly present the Hope for Kids Hygiene Drive to support Project Beauty Share.
As students head back to school, some kids don't have access to basic hygiene items like shampoo, soap, deodorant, and toothbrushes.
All children deserve basic hygiene supplies to give them the confidence to face their day. September 5th through October 5th, donate student hygiene supplies at any local Numerica branch. Your donations can improve a student's day, their health, and their future. This is how Numerica cares for kids.
Save thousands on the new Revolutionary Swim Spa at a one-time sale. Friday through Sunday. Kootenai County Fairgrounds, Coeur d'Alene. Exercise with low impact. Swim the entire year and stay in shape. Teach your kids to swim. Unwind and save thousands. Avoid the expense and maintenance involved with a pool. Swim, exercise, and relax in your new aquatic exercise swim spa. Installation and 1 day only. New 2025 inventory. 18-month interest-free financing. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Kootenai County Fairgrounds, Coeur d'Alene. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
It matters every day and every night. It matters that we're not just in your community, but that we're part of it.
We'd be happy to help you.
Making sure everyone feels welcomed and rewarded.
Extra bucks on the way out.
It matters that we're here for what the doctor prescribed.
Thanks so much, Eric.
And also, just what the doctor ordered.
Need some help?
Right by your side.
Hi, Allie.
Right when you need us.
I'm gonna go grab that for you, okay?
Welcome to CVS. Join us.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. And want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you want to do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Where winning is just the beginning.
Coming up tonight on Nightside, a new ice rink and hotel could be coming to Spokane Valley. The project proposal calls this a once-in-a-generation opportunity, but who's paying for it? Find out tonight on Nightside starting at 11.
Ooh, I want to see that. I like ice skating, but it's not quite time for that. We are cooling down. Temperatures in the 60s for highs through the 7-day forecast. We've got some 30s for overnight lows next week.
This is one for our Wildlife Wednesday friends. Researchers in Texas say they've identified the first known wild hybrid between a blue jay and a green jay. Researchers say it carries traits of both species, blue feathers and white spots on its wings like a blue jay, but markings and vocalizations of a green jay. Scientists believe this hybrid is the result of the two species' habitat ranges overlapping for the first time, driven in part by climate change. They call the discovery a biological curveball.
Didn't even know we had green jays, and now we got grue jays.
Wow.